Yo, what's going on YouTube? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Vlad Sports Talk with your host Vlad. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe. First of all, subscribe for sure. Make sure you like and comment on the video. If you're already on the channel, thank you for the subscription. I gotta thank y'all first and foremost. I know I said that in the last video, but it's because of y'all that I'm doing this. So I want to say thank y'all. As y'all can see today, I got a full house because I'm not by myself today. I had to bring two of my brothers who love basketball just as much as I do, maybe just a little bit more than I do because I'm a football fan first. So the first person I want to introduce is a big LeBron fan. No matter where he goes, he's gonna travel with him. No matter what team he goes to, he's gonna travel with him. So I want to introduce Mr. Austin Dixon, man. Austin, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? Hey, Dame time, Dame Dollar. But let me show it out. Gotta show it out one more time. You know what
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying?
man. Show the people the shirt, man.
Yeah, but anyways, quick side note. I'm actually a Hawks fan now, so throwing up for the A. Ice Trader gang.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to it. I'm gonna get back to you on that. We're gonna come back to that.
I got a story for that too, so don't worry.
All right, babe. I know you got something to say. Austin, you got like 30 different teams, bro. You always
chill out.
Hey, man. But for the next person I want to introduce is my second brother, also who's a huge basketball fan. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give him his credit because him and Ari, a previous person on my podcast, both called me out and said the Nets wasn't gonna make it to the finals. So I gotta admit that I was wrong. You know, I gotta give it to Dennis. So Dennis, man, what's going on, man? Introduce yourself to the people.
Man, what's up, y'all? It's the man Dennis. I got a podcast preparing to be launched later in the year. The King's Corner. We talking about everything: sports, music, current event topics, everything. So it's gonna be lit. Thanks for having me, brother.
No. I got hold on before you go, Austin. I got to revisit for what you said, man. You got a podcast coming up soon?
What? I already had it planned. I got it in plan. I just want to make my logo, and I'm hoping to have it launched within the next couple of months.
Hey, take your time, man. Whenever you're ready, take your time.
Hey, Dennis.
The King's Corner coming soon.
Hey, Dennis, I'd like to thank you for naming the podcast after me.
Whatever.
Now, Dennis name it after you would have been Joker's Corner. It wouldn't be King's Corner. Hey, man, but let's hop into these topics real quick, man, because this is a lot been going on, and I'm happy that I got both of y'all on here because, like I said, y'all are both basketball fans, you know, probably a little bit bigger than I am, which is okay with that. But let's start off first with Utah, man. I mean, last year, they was up 3-1 in the first round of the finals, and we know how that turned out. They collapsed and lost 4-3 against the Denver Nuggets. This year, they finished the first seed in the Western Conference, which was a surprise to me. They beat the Grizzlies in the first round. They was up 2-0 against the Clippers and lost 4-2. I believe was in Game 6. So, Dennis, I'll start off with you, man. What's the next move for Utah? What do you think Utah needs to work on to, you know, possibly make it to a conference finals or let alone the finals? Do you think they need to keep the same team, or is it time to find new pieces to bring to Utah?
When it comes to Utah, I don't think the team they have is bad. I think they had the perfect team this year. I just think when the pressure got put on, like they literally could have won Game 5. Wait, I can't remember which game it was, whether it was Game 5 or 6 where they blew the big lead. But
it was Game 6.
It's like
it was Game 6.
Oh, okay, thank you. But like, I understand Mike Conley was hurt.
Yeah.
And Mike Conley initiates the offense for them. So it was like with Mike Conley being out, Donovan Mitchell has to play the scoring role and facilitating role. He never been put in that position before. He always had somebody to kind of like travel along with him that could help take off the pressure for him. Yes, Utah got exposed when it came to Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert don't like going out to the perimeter. He does all his work by the rim. So it was like when Clippers decided to go small and negated what he's good at doing. But I honestly think they should run it back with the same team. They probably might have a replacement for Mike Conley because I think Mike Conley is supposed to be a free agent this upcoming offseason. So whoever they may replace that point guard spot with, whether that's through the draft or free agency, I think they'll be back in the playoffs. eventually Donovan Mitchell is too great of a player to not get over the hump. So
That's true. That's true. But before I go to Austin, I mean, do you think that they should resign Mike Conley or just let him walk in free agency?
I think they should let him walk because, I mean, he is getting older. So you might want to have somebody that's younger and established that's like that can also play that kind of role. Because you don't need a point guard like that got to score 20, 25 points with Donovan Mitchell. Like he has a lot of shooters with him, and you got the 6th man of the year coming off the bench. So it's like you got enough scoring. You just need somebody to help facilitate the offense without having Donovan Mitchell having to do too much.
What about you, Austin? I see you cheesing over there, man. I know you itching to hop in this, man. What's up?
Nah, so basically, Utah has a good team, but I kind of felt like I knew the series was lost when it was during Game 5, and the Jazz were like scorching hot. The crowd was going wild. They made like 17 threes in the first half. Yeah, where they're only up 5 going into halftime. And then I remember listening to Shaq, and he was like, "You're only up 5 with 17 threes. Something's wrong with that." So that kind of raised my antennas as well. But alluding to Dennis's point, I want to say this more. We could blame the Jazz all they want. Yeah, Mike Conley wasn't there. Coach Quinn Snyder didn't make the proper adjustments, especially in Game 6 when Rudy Gobert was getting exposed. Even before that, Rudy Gobert was getting exposed. But particularly in Game 6 when you saw Terrence Mann just like I think he had like 20 something in the third quarter.
That's when he went off for like what 39, 40 points that game.
Yeah, the Terrence Mann game. You know what I'm saying? Got to represent Florida State. I vibes with that. Facts. But like I said, we're gonna allude to that and everything. But I honestly think that we have to get the Clippers their credit. I mean, yeah, the jokes were funny. Oh, the Clippers blew a 3-1 lead in 2015 in the second round against the Houston Rockets. And there was a lot of things that's just the whole all around the Clippers organization that's just like, it just a bit of misfortune, kind of like that dark cloud over them. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think that Ty Lue, give him his props, because I felt like a lot of people only knew Ty Lue as the assistant coach who kind of took over when David Blatt got fired, and they only knew him because you had LeBron and Kyrie on your team. Now we're seeing that he's much more of a proven man to the basketball minds that study the game of basketball. True. And I have to get on to Dennis about this, because I really feel like when Paul George has game streaks like this, when he has 30 plus point games consecutively in a row, especially in the Utah series, everybody gets quiet. But let PG shoot shots off the backboard, pandemic P, way off P, push off P. Oh, Dave sent you and Russ home. That's when the noise is loud in. But then when when PG-13 playoff P is having these games, everybody wants to get silenced. And that's what I was telling Dennis. I'm like, bro, the criticism, your praise has to be as loud as your criticism. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying? And Dennis got real quiet. A lot of haters and naysayers got real quiet. And that's the beef I had. That's the beef I had with Dennis, and me and him were going back and forth on. I'm like, yo, give playoff P the Clippers their credit, man. Playoff P showed up. He averaged 29 points per game this series. Like keep that same energy, my guy.
The keyword to what you just said, this series, what was that Paul George against Dallas? Y'all was that quiet against Dallas, though.
Bro, did the Clippers not show mental fortitude when they were down 0-2 and come back in that series?
Yeah, they got the job done, but was playoff P in that series? He wasn't nowhere to be found in that series, though.
That's true.
But then when he gets hot, that's when y'all want to praise him. But as soon as he goes back to being the regular Paul George we know on the scene, y'all get quiet. I don't like when y'all do that.
Hold up, no. Dennis, all I'm saying. Hold up, see, this is where Paul George gets too much of the pushback for me. So we gonna act like we didn't. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's rewind all the way back to 20s. I want to say was it 2017? Or rookie Donovan Mitchell? when he got knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. He wants to all the hate and all the shade and all the numbers Paul George way. And albeit, yes, Paul George did have a bad game, a quote unquote off game, however you want to phrase it. Oh, but he loves to forget about Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. All three of them didn't show up and got bounced by rookie Donovan Mitchell. And hold on, not to mention,
go ahead.
That's Dennis's team, OKC. You know what I'm saying? So then like, hey, playoff P, where you at? Playoff P. You know, Dennis, where is he at now? Conference finals, Dennis. Conference finals.
But see, this the bad part about what you just said. You do know Paul George is like the only NBA player to start giving him he gave himself that name. Nobody gave him that name. You started calling yourself playoff P without doing anything.
Whoa, hey, chill out, bro. Hold up. Was Paul George not in the MVP conversation during his time in Oklahoma City?
That one year, yes, he was.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Let's be real, Dennis. And then his shoulders gave out on him. So let's add context.
We can say that.
Thank you, but that's all I'm saying, bro. So PG has always been this pure hooper, bro. That's what I'm saying. His game has been so smooth.
Has he always been a consistent when it matters in the playoffs? That's what I want you to answer truthfully.
Hold up, see, bro. Now, honestly, I feel like we tight rope, we tight walking a web, because now we're going down this dark hole where now I got to defend PG, and it's like, Dennis, do you realize the first few years this man came in the league, he was challenging LeBron in the Eastern Conference? Like,
we call
No, Dennis, but you want to bring up playoff P. That's what I'm saying. So
he wasn't calling himself playoff P at that time, Austin.
Duh, Dennis, I know that, but I'm saying the overall picture, bro. Because a lot of people love to say, "Hey, PG never showed up in the playoffs." What about when PG dunked over Birdman? What about that, huh?
But did he not keep going home?
Oh my! So look. Oh my gosh! Dennis.
I mean, that's LeBron. We understand that's LeBron.
That was the big three in Miami. What are you talking about?
Home. He kept going home.
Hey, Black. Excuse me. They're ashamed to losing and they're ashamed to losing to the big three in Miami during that. They're shaming that. They're ashamed. Like that just tarnishes your resume if you lose to prime LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. That tarnishes your legacy. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Dennis. You know more about basketball than I do. I'm sorry.
No. See, now you're going too far with that. He ain't no legend. But I do agree with Austin, though. I mean, bro, we all know that Indiana against that big three in Miami, we all know who's going to win that series. Like, come on, that's Indiana. They did have a great team at that time with PG, George Hill, forgot that center who they
David West,
Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert.
They had Roy Hibbert. They have pieces that you feel, but I ain't gonna call him no legend. But just because you lose the series, it doesn't tarnish your legacy completely. But I do agree with Dennis though, because I mean, like I said, one night PG will show up, the next night it's like PG's in Cancun, he's taking a vacation, but then he bounces back again. It's consistency. Like you have to do it on the night in and night out basis. That's it. I do see your point though, Austin. If I ain't gonna sit here and bash him and say like, oh, he's a bad player. No, bro. I'm not gonna disrespect Paul because I know what Paul George is about. But consistency, you feel me? Like if you that, I ain't gonna say the word, but if you that dude, especially now that Kawhi is at home dealing with the knee injury, you have to do it night in and night out. It can't be last game where he dropped like 34. Tonight you can't drop like a 10 or 15 or 18.
Right. And Vlad, this is really where my concern comes from in terms of PG. Right. It's the fact that I don't mind the criticism. The criticism is valid, right? Whatever you want to say, whether he's been inconsistent or not. My thing is, particularly towards Dennis, give the man his damn credit, bro. You have not given Paul George his credit yet, and I'm tired of saying. Oh,
but I tell you why I don't give him. I tell you why though, because he doesn't do it consistently. Just because you have 3 good games in a row doesn't mean you really like that now. No, because you're liable to go cold for another 5 games straight, and I'm gonna be like, see, it's the Paul George I be talking about.
So basically, Dennis is not a prisoner of the moment. I
can never be that type of player.
That's what it sounded like. Dennis is not a prisoner of the moment.
If he pulls it off against Phoenix and he have these 35-point games, we'll talk about game one later. I'm gonna get Austin when we go to that topic.
But PG, you know what? Never mind. Because then it's like running around in a circle with you. It's like a hamster on a spin wheel. I can't get through to you. Yeah. Literally, I can't. It's like talking to a brick wall. I can't get through to you, Dennis.
So let me just get back on this Utah topic before I switch over to the next one, because I'm not even gonna make it long. But y'all boys basically summed it up in a great way that I can't really elaborate on. Like you said, they have a great squad. I'm not gonna lie, they do have a good squad, and it was a surprise that they finished first in the Western Conference. That really surprised the hell out of me, especially with the teams in the Western Conference. But with Donovan hurting his ankle, that really hindered him, and Mike Conley with the hamstring and all. There was little issues that could have been solved better. And like Dennis had them touched on, and you too, Austin, with the Rudy Gobert, you're a 3-time defensive player of the year. You can't get exploited like that. I understand there's gonna be nights where, you feel me, stuff happens, but at the end of the day, you having those 3 times defensive player of the year, and even Shaq called him a fraud. You feel me? Because when he signed that extension for, what was it, 5 years for $205 million, I think that's what it was. Shaq was hot about it. At first, I was happy because you feel me, Rudy was that person. I was happy he got his money, but now I'm seeing what Shaq was talking about. Over time, I'm seeing game after game how Rudy gets exploited, how Dennis pointed out when the Clippers went small and it opened up the perimeter, and Rudy likes to be under the basket. He doesn't like coming outside from under the basket. So for Utah, like Dennis said, Donovan Mitchell is too great of a player for him to be bouncing out in the first and second round. He's still young. I think he's 24, 25 years old. So he still has his whole career left ahead of him for sure. But I don't know. I don't know what else he could do really out there. Like I said, honestly, Dennis, I think they should keep Mike Conley since he's a veteran. I do understand he's getting up there in age, but he's a veteran and he knows, he's been there and he's done that. So I feel like they should keep him because, like you said, it takes the load off of Donovan Mitchell instead of you passing and facilitating the ball, which is a lot. It's not easy. But I don't know. If you want to go out and go get somebody in free agency, then, be my guest. I ain't got no issues with that.
Right. But never mind. No, I'm gonna save it. Never mind. Go. No. Not because you talk about somebody being a fraud. I know somebody else that's a fraud, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So, man, let's move on to the next one, man. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I gotta get. That's what I said. I'm gonna start off with Dennis on this one again. I want to start off with you on this, but for Austin, but I gotta start with Dennis because the podcast I had previously with him and AC, I said that the Nets was gonna make the finals. I didn't say they were gonna win though, but I did say that they was gonna come out the East. But mind you, the only concern that I had was injuries. You feel me? Because injuries are a part of the game. But if they stayed healthy, then you have a legitimate shot with KD, Harden, and Kyrie. But they lost in Game 7 to the Milwaukee Bucks, and if the Bucks didn't beat them, I had Philly next in line to beat them in order to stop them from coming out of the Eastern Conference. But we're gonna say that topic is coming in soon. It's coming in soon. So, Dennis, what was your thoughts on this overall series between the Bucks and the Nets, and what did Giannis' game prove to you? After you seen Giannis last year, getting bounced out in the bubble against the Heat, you feel me? Shout out to Miami because I'm a Heat fan. I'm a Heat boy for life. But what was your overall thoughts on this series, Dennis?
In my opinion, Bucks versus the Nets was one of the best series I've ever watched with my own eyes.
Oh my gosh!
I'm really watching
Go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead. Hold on, Austin. Hold on. Go ahead, Dennis.
I'm watching two teams that possibly had a chance to get into the finals, and I'm looking at one of my favorite players in the NBA, which is Giannis, the Greek Freak.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really pulling for Giannis all season. Before the season started, I had Milwaukee versus the Lakers in the finals. Lakers went home first round. Don't shed your tears on that, Austin. But I still got Giannis on the other side still here. So it's once he get past, if he get past Atlanta, which is a high possible chance that he will, then I could be like, Giannis finally pulled through. Now, yeah, we know injuries happen.
Mm-hmm.
If they were healthy, this series probably would have been kind of different. Even though I honestly thought Milwaukee would still be able to match up with them because you got PJ Tucker, you got Drew Holiday, you got Middleton, you got Giannis, you got good defenders.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, love the series. Giannis ain't really proved nothing much to me because I was already a big Giannis fan. So it was like Giannis just finally got back to what he should have been already. Like you going home to the Miami Heat last season. Yeah, y'all was like number 1 team. Y'all went home. I think the number 3 team, I think, in the East last year.
Yeah, that was number 3, yeah.
They went home early and came back revenges and got it done. Now he just got to get past, Ice Trae Young. And
you can't
he'll be right there in front of the lights.
You can't sleep on Atlanta, boy. They for real. But yeah, go ahead, Austin. Since you wanna hold up the A, even though you're from Florida, you wanna hold up the A. But go ahead, man. Talk to me, man.
All right. So we're talking strictly the Nets and Hawks series right now.
Yeah. The Nets and the Nets and the Bucks series.
And the Nets and the Bucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So first of all, I gotta debunk Dennis's. This is the best playoff series and one of the best playoff series I ever seen. Yes, it was good. Albeit the Nets lost in 7. But a quick side note, I would take the 2009 first round series, Celtics versus Bulls, basically because dang near every game either went to overtime or double overtime, and it went to 7 games. But that's neither here nor there. But what I saw this series, like especially the first 2 games, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, okay, Brooklyn pretty much has this, because especially even though James Harden was kind of dealing with a hamstring coming in, I think it was in game 1. Kyrie went down a little later in the series. Like I said, pretty much it was a good series. And honestly, this is I'll say this, and I'll go to this extent. This is the best. That was the best playoff series from this playoffs. Just to put it in context, that was probably like I said, I believe that the champion coming at us, the champion will come out of that series. And honestly, I think the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Milwaukee Bucks, like mentally, after they got through that mental hurt, especially what happened last year.
Yeah.
All the talk about, Giannis is back-to-back MVP, but he doesn't show up in the playoffs. There's different schemes. He doesn't have an offensive back. And yes, all that is true. But I think this series meant more so for the mental fortitude of the Milwaukee Bucks, and kind of like that mental barrier that Giannis was able to get through. And another thing I felt like I learned this series was, and I felt like I should have been peed this, but it just hit me. Chris Middleton has to be the best player on the Milwaukee Bucks. It's that simple. Because if we're talking about the playoffs, I need somebody that's going to score in the half court. Giannis doesn't have it going, even though quote unquote Giannis is the quote unquote in the media the best player on the team. Chris Middleton has to be that dude in terms of somebody who can create a shot off their own, off the dribble, go 1-on-1, boogie on a defender. You got to get that to Chris Middleton is the best player, best hooper on the Milwaukee Bucks. And honestly, like Dennis said, injuries do play a vital part, in any series. It's unfortunate. May the series have been a little different, maybe, but I felt like the team, like I said, I watching the regular season, I always felt like if there was going to be a team to stop the Brooklyn Nets, in the East, it would have to be the Milwaukee Bucks, just because of the simple fact that they match up defensively. Milwaukee's been one of the best teams for the past couple seasons. And I was like, okay, these dudes they have literally the best chance of knocking off the Brooklyn Nets. And also I think we learned that playing games in the regular season does matter. I mean, like Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, they only I think they only played a combined total of what, less than 10 games.
Yeah,
during
together,
the regular season.
They didn't really play that much games together.
Right, because they were injured and whatnot. But like I said, it is what it is. And lastly, I don't know if Dennis is gonna like this because me and Dennis had a conversation about this too, and I kind of put it on my Twitter. But especially after KD dropped that 48-point performance in Game 7, let alone what he did in Game 5. But in Game 7, the most points in the Game 7, I literally and I felt this in my soul. And it really hit me hard being a big LeBron fan. But I finally come to grips with it. KD is the best player in the world. And I know there's some that you'd be like, duh, I could have told you that. But for me, I felt like I knew that for the past couple of years, but me being on my LeBron high horse, my LeBron fandom, I never actually it basically what I'm saying. It took me a lot of courage to muster that up. Is what I'm trying to say. So this series, I definitely learned that KD is the best player on the planet. LeBron said that 1B.
Hey, Black.
I ain't gonna lie with that. Who the boy left me speechless with that one, boy?
No. We're Black before you get fooled by Austin, Mr. Dixon. Austin only saying that because LeBron went home first. He's only saying you're not fooling me here, Austin.
Whoa!
That last part really.
If LeBron was still in the playoffs right now, he would not dare say Durant is the best player. You're not fooling me here.
Dennis, hold up, Dennis. Did you not hear what I said? I said for the past couple of years, I felt that, but I was being completely honest, and I said I was writing on my LeBron fandom, which it took me a lot of courage to muster up. That's what I'm saying. I felt that for the past couple of seasons.
So KD, KD's 1A and Bron is 1B.
Correct.
I'm still shocked about that. Like that part.
Austin trying to fool us. That's all it is. That's why he said no. That's why he said I felt this for a couple of years. He had to throw that in there so it can have some value to where he went in his statement with.
It had to take me a minute to process. I'm like, wait, what did Austin just say? I'm like, nah, bro, that didn't just come out of his mouth.
And Vlad, before you go real quick, you know what's funny? I literally posted that tweet on my Instagram story, and Area hit me up. He was like, bro, he hit me up in my conversation. He's like, bro, this can't be you, bro. I'm like, yes, it's me. That's I know. It's hard to believe coming from me. Out of all people, one of the biggest LeBron fans I know. That you know. But I had to be objective, and that's just what it is from a pure hooping skill standpoint. Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet, arguably the greatest scorer of all time.
Now that one right there, I can agree with you on that, but I can't let you slide with what you just said. Like I'm still like baffled about it, bro. Like those words really came out of your mouth, bro, and I know that was a hard pill for you to swallow. Like you said, as you being a big LeBron fan, I know that's a hard pill for you to swallow to say, okay, KD's 1A and Bron is 1B. Like, damn, no, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say, bro. Like, you really like
Dennis swears I'm trying to fool y'all with the okie doke. I'm not. That's really how I feel.
Nah, somebody hacked Austin Twitter. That's all it was. He got it back. He ain't noticed somebody had tweeted it for him, so he was like, I'll stick with it.
Maybe it was you, Dennis. I mean, if we really want to expose people right now, didn't you text me and said, man, I finally come to the realization. As much as I hate Kevin Durant, I can't be mad at him anymore. Didn't you say something along those lines? Okay, thank you. So let's keep it real.
I specifically said, even though I may never agree to him leaving OKC to join the enemy, at this point in life, after witnessing almost carry the Brooklyn Nets with no Kyrie and a hobbled James Harden, I will no longer badmouth Kevin Durant. There's no need for me to do it. But since LeBron went home early and you finally want to say Kevin Durant is the best player in the world, I'm just in that segment off with, go Giannis! He's going to the finals!
So let me ask this question real quick before I hop in here for the Bucks and Nets. So Austin, just let's say hypothetically LeBron wins the chip next year. Do you put him back in that? Do you put him back in that 1A spot, or do you keep him at that 1B spot? Just hypothetically, if LeBron wins the NBA Finals next year and gets his 5th ring, are you keeping him at 1B, or are you gonna put him at 1A? Be honest now. Don't be honest, bro. Be honest.
Quick question: is this a safe space?
Dennis, you hear that, right?
He already trying to build a contradiction around his statement.
This man said it's a safe space. Nah, ain't no safe space, bro. Be honest. If LeBron wins the title next year, is he still 1B, or you putting him 1A?
He thinking to try to throw us off.
No. If LeBron wins the title next year, well, I still have minutes. It'll be close. It'll be close. It'll be close.
He went the safe way.
No, for like, I'm being honest. It'll be close. Like I said, it have to be, the context within the season. Like I said, I don't want to come. And I feel like people honestly get this confused. It's like, just because I'm a big LeBron fan, that I'm not able to acknowledge when I see pure hooping greatness. Like I hate that. Like I honestly, even when Kevin Durant left OKC, I'm like, so he like at the very least the second best player in the league. like let the man, you know what I'm saying? Like he could hoop. So what? Get over it.
I said, OKC fans over here, we don't get over it, but it's all good now.
But yeah, Vlad, for right now, and I'll say this for context and for preface. For right now, KD is the best player in the league.
So for right now.
Okay.
Just have to wait till next NBA season. But... All right, bet. So where we left off at was the Bucks and the Nets. I know, like you said, the 1A, no 1B. We'll talk about that later. We'll revisit that conversation later, Austin. But for me, the Bucks and the Nets, like Dennis had done previously, before it hadn't got deleted, had done previously said, this was definitely one of the best series that I've seen. I wouldn't say the best, but definitely one of the best for it to come to a Game 7. And low-key, I was going for Milwaukee. I'll be honest about that. But I thought Brooklyn was going to win. But I was really going for Milwaukee because the way Milwaukee ended things last year in the bubble against Miami, your boy's a Heat fan and whatnot. Everybody knows that. It was pretty sad for them boys. So for them to come back, this year, a better team, quick points before I even get more deep into my point. Drew Holiday was the smartest move that they made. Him swapping him out for Eric Bledsoe. That I didn't like the move at first, but now I see why they did what they did. PJ Tucker, his defense on KD showed that 80s, 90s defense. Like, he was not playing around with KD at all. Like, even KD's mom was out. She was like, this is basketball. It's not football. But PJ wasn't even hearing that. In most games, some of the games he fouled out, but he didn't care. Like, he was not letting Kevin Durant be Kevin Durant. Even though he was still Kevin Durant, but he was just making it, tough on him. Third thing is, with Giannis, Austin, as you had them pointed out, Giannis is a 2-time MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. You can't say that, I do what the coach tells me to do. No, F that. You need, as you being the best player on that, this is your team. You being one of the best players on that team, you need to go out there and guard the best player on the opposing team. Because if y'all lose a series, you can't sit there in the interview and say, well, we lost because, I followed the coach's game plan. No. That sometimes you have to derail from that and go say, I'm finna go guard KD. I'm gonna take that challenge on and guard KD. That's what you're supposed to do as the best player on that team. Last of all, Chris Middleton is supposed to be that dude. Like, he is that dude, but Chris Middleton has to be that dude moving forward if the Bucks win a possible chance of winning a championship. Like, with the Nets, I knew that there was kind of a thought in the back of my mind that they wouldn't win it because of injuries. And injuries, they come a part of the game, but with Kyrie going down with an ankle, James not being 100%, it just put more pressure on KD to, okay, I'm basically like doing this by myself. Like, I have to make something shake. I got to make the best out of nothing. And, KD played all of game 5. He had a triple-double, historic, 49, 17, and 10. I think that's what you was talking about, Austin. Game 6, he had 32, 11, and 3. And then game 7, he had 48, 9, and 6. And he played 40-plus minutes for games 5, 6, and 7. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And one day is not enough to recover your body. I don't care what kind of athlete you are, what profession you play. One day is not enough to recover your body. So I'm not going to slander KD on any means necessary, because I know Kevin Durant is that dude. I've been through that. I agree with Dennis. I don't like the move that he did from OKC to Golden State. I still don't like it, to be honest. But KD is that dude. But for the Bucks, I'm happy for them that they're advancing onto Atlanta. Do not sleep on Atlanta, because that's what Philly did. We're gonna get into that to the next topic, but that's what Philly did. That's what they messed up at. But yeah, man. Overall, I'm happy for the Bucks, but we'll see what happens with the Nets next year. So, we'll keep it at that. You guys got something to say before I move on to the next topic?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. You good, Dennis?
No, I'm good. He touched on everything we already said. So we need to get on this Devin Booker though.
So that's definitely the last one right there. So the next one is Philly, and then I ain't even gonna ask the question. Austin, the floor is yours. Philly, that's all I gotta say. Philly,
bruh.
Whatever you feeling, whatever thing you gotta say, let it out. That's how Philadelphia 76ers, let it out.
Man, I'm just gonna be blatantly honest. There's only two good things in Philly: the cheesesteaks and Meek Mill. And honestly, I'm debating if Meek Mill even good in Philly.
Nah, I take that back. You missing it's the third thing. The women. Come on.
Oh, anyway, honestly, like I said, before I hopped on here, I was a part of the train. I was gonna come on here and slander Ben Simmons, but he's already kind of got enough of that over social media and everything like that. But what I will say, if Ben Simmons in Philly, it's up. I don't want to hear no more of the process and but we can make it work and do this and do that. No, cut your ties now, cut your losses. We've clearly seen enough of what if or what could have been. No, it's really kind of like a fairy tale of what could have gone wrong. And to be quite honest, and Vlad, I know you might laugh when I say this, but Meek Mill needs to drop a diss track. I know he's from Philly. I know he's from Philly, but you can't have a dude that can't shoot playing the point guard and come and with me. And what's funny is I have these debates with my friends in my in our Instagram group chat, and one of them said, hey, PG's a top 10 point guard, and me along with everybody
Ben Simmons,
else,
you said PG.
Yeah, Ben.
Oh, PG, my bad. I meant to say Ben Simmons at PG. My bad.
Got you.
But a lot of people in the group chat been saying Ben Simmons is a top 10 point guard, and I clearly had to tell my boy Gerald. I'm like, yo, how are you a top? You can't be a top 10 point guard. One, if you can't score the ball, consistently. Two, you had a lower free throw percentage than Shaq. I mean, literally at 32, I see somebody shoot worse than Shaq from the free throw line. Oh my gosh. I don't know. To be honest, and honestly, I never seen somebody so hesitant to shoot the basketball. Like honestly, like coming into the league, everybody and their mama knew that Ben Simmons couldn't shoot a ball to basically save his basketball life. And like I said, we're not surprised. We're mad at the fact that none of us can actually sit here and say that Ben Simmons has gradually improved into a more complete player over his 4 or 5 years within the NBA. And that's all we ask. We're not asking. Of course, we know Ben Simmons is a star. He's a stud. But we're not asking Ben Simmons to do anything out of the impossible because we already know his limitations. But all we're asking is that we see a gradual improvement. We're not, like I said, we're not asking you to go from star to superstar overnight. We're just asking you take gradual steps within your game. Kind of like the same thing, to be honest. We're kind of asking, gradual steps within your game to show us the fact that you're at least trying to become a better all-around player. And honestly, I'm really tired of this too. I'm tired of the people that says, "Oh, but Ben Simmons does so many things on the court. He affects the game in so many different." Well, yes, we know that's kind of been beaten into our heads, especially the hoop heads. But honestly, I think even that is kind of it's not holding Ben Simmons accountable is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And this I could tell you that Ben Simmons' time in Philly is really coming to an end. The press conference where I heard, actually, I'm gonna get to that. But one, Ben Simmons passed basically the dunk attempt late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
handed it off to Thibault, fouled, only made 1 out of 2 free throws. One, I was like, yeah, it's definitely in his head at this point. But two, I could tell his time at Philly is up because of what I heard in the post-game press conference from not only Joel Embiid, but from his head coach.
Yeah.
Like both is actually uncalled for and just blatantly disrespectful to throw Ben Simmons under the bus. But especially hear from your coach when a reporter asked, and like I said, maybe it was just in the moment, but still, Doc Rivers being in the NBA for a long time as a player, as a coach, all of that. You cannot have you could not throw one of your star players
at the bus.
Exactly. And the reporter, it was a fair question too. The reporter asked, do you think Ben Simmons can be, like the this, the go-to kind of like the go-to point guard of your team? He was like, I don't know the answer to that at this point. And like I said, honestly, I know it's Doc's first season as the Philadelphia 76ers, but I mean, knowing what kind of situation you'll get into before you even decide to take the job at Philly, like you know from Jump Street. And I don't know. All I'm gonna say is Ben Simmons needs to go. It can't work. I'm just gonna keep it at that. It's not gonna work. It's down the drain.
What about you, Dennis?
I mean, when it comes to the Philly losing the series, I can't put it all on Ben Simmons because at the end of the day, you got a coach. Your coach make coaching adjustments to best fit what your strengths are. Even though offensively he ain't got much, but I mean, you still got to use something. The man is kind of hard to stop from getting to the basket. So it's like if you just build a wall on him and you make him a jump shooter, it works in the defensive. It works better for the defense. But at the end of the day, Philly could have been ended that series. They blew too many leads. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Joel Embiid is the best player on the team. But you're Doc Rivers, you the coach. You can't have your team blowing leads. But you're losing game leads and series leads. It's like at this point, it ain't going good either way.
And Vlad, one more point I want to touch on. I'm legit really not trying to joke with this because anybody that makes the NBA, of course, we know you can hoop for real. That's just a simple fact. Because if it was so easy, everybody be in the league, right?
That's true.
But
especially me.
Watch it, chill out. Too much dip on your chip, player. But anyway, I'm really not trying to be funny, but whatever team Ben Simmons needs to go to, matter of fact, scratch that. His trainer. You lock Ben Simmons in the gym, have just you and him, Ben Simmons in the gym. You're not leaving the gym till you make 100. Bump that, scratch that. Till you make 300 shots. I'm sorry, you're not leaving the gym because it's unacceptable. Somebody of your caliber who gets comparisons to being a jump shot away from LeBron James, having the court vision of Magic Johnson, all that, to being also a defensive player of the year candidate, and you tell him you can't make a jump shot. The fact that you're scared to even shoot in fourth quarters, especially in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm sorry. If I'm Ben Simmons trainer, first of all, he needs to get fired. He needs to get another trainer because whoever trained him on the jump shot ain't training him right. Let's just be simple. Get you a new trainer. Have that trainer lock you in the gym till you make 300 shots a day. I want you to make 300 shots every day in the summer because you ain't doing nothing. Hey, I'm surprised you ain't in Cancun yet. but anyway, like I was saying, I'm in all seriousness, Ben Simmons. I try, like I said, I try to say this with as much seriousness, but Ben Simmons, you are too goddamn talented to be this awful of an offensive liability. Like, honestly. And I say that with all respect, being serious.
Literally, like, see me, I don't want to slander him either, but I can't let him off the hook. Like Dennis, I can agree with Dennis that some of the blame does go to Dark because he is the coach at the end of the day, but he's not out there playing on the court. And it's only so much that a coach can do. Like, I can coach you, but I can't go out there and play the game, you feel me? But no, bro, this definitely falls on Ben. But before I even slander him, like I said, he's a great rebounder, great facilitator, and a great defensive player. Before I get into my point, all of those three things he can do, except the main important thing, and that's to shoot the damn basketball. Literally, that's what you're playing basketball. You don't run up and down the court for no reason. You come to shoot the damn basketball. How in the hell are you 6'11", 6'10", 6'11"? I think Austin, you said with shoes, he's probably 7 foot. He probably is 7 foot.
At
least. And you don't want to shoot the damn ball. Like, it makes no sense to me at all. Like, that's just like, this man has been in the league for 4 or 5 years. He's been a 3-time All-Star, and they gave him a max deal. And you don't want to shoot the fucking ball? It's not that hard.
And you become virtually unplayable near the end of games because, let's just hack a Ben. I mean,
literally,
he's not gonna make him anyway.
Hack a Ben. They're gonna send you to the free throw line. Like, the only time you see Ben Simmons like be aggressive is when Joel Embiid is not playing. Like, if he's out of game, Ben just turns into this whole different person. You feel me? But when Joel comes back, it's a whole different type of thing because now you gotta adjust to how Joel plays, and it's 2 different game styles. It's not going to work. Ben is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that he's a horrible player. No, he's a good player. Like you said, he's talented, but he is literally the 76ers kryptonite. And like how you said on my post with the Boyz II Men song "End of the Road," it's the end of the road, bro. There's no more road to drive on. We've literally come to a cliff. So either you gonna jump off or I'm gonna jump off. Like, I don't know. It just honestly makes no sense to me, bro. Like you said, like, this man has been getting comparisons to LeBron James, like a shot away from being a LeBron 2.0. That's a joke. That is a joke. Like, I would honestly, if I was LeBron, I would take that as an insult because, like, bro, this man can't shoot the ball, bro. Literally, anybody else on the 76ers, you see them coming up the court, they come up. The defenders, they'll come up. Ben Simmons come up with the ball. All right, we just stay under the rim. Why? Because that's where Ben feel most comfortable, under the rim and dunking the ball. Now I know Dennis talked about that. You got to work around that. Like that. That's a coaching thing. That I get, but still though, you're supposed to be one of the top players in this league. I don't agree with what Gerald said, Austin, about that top 10 point guard crap. I don't even want to hear that. Not when you're shooting worse than Shaq from the free throw line. Get that shit out of here. I'm just being completely honest. No, bro. You're supposed to be one of the best point guards in this league, and all you have to do is shoot the basketball. Literally. It's not that hard, bro. You're not going to go 20 for 20 every night, and that's okay. That's fine. I'm not asking you for that. But like you said, well, Giannis, gradually, like, let's see you make an improvement. Let's see you make that step. But Ben, he doesn't want to take that step, and he seems like he's perfectly fine with it. So it's time to go. It's definitely time to go. Why are you looking like that for, bro? Somebody got dunked on?
No, bro. Devin Booker, somebody bleeding, bro. I was watching the game, bro. Like, legit, like, Devin Booker was coming up the court. He kind of did like a cross behind the back. Pat Bev kind of like swiped him in the face and like like legit bleeding. Oh, they butted heads. That's what it was. They butted heads. Yeah, Devin
the
Booker
game
bleeding.
red.
This one, you said the game
They
red.
rigging the game. They trying to hurt Devin Booker.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, they trying to take him off for real, man. The Clippers trying to get their little shine on. You know, the Austin homeboy over there, what playoff P? That boy trying to get to the finals.
No. Pandemic P. He has 13 points. Pandemic P. Mister, he's been averaging 30 points.
But yeah, bro.
So I'm guessing since they came back from 0-2 in the first two series, they could pull it off again. That's what basically Austin is saying because they got playoff P.
I ain't saying all that. Anyway.
Anyway. But yeah, bro, it's time to go, bro. It's the end of the road for Ben Simmons. Maybe somewhere else he can, find a team because I'm pretty sure it's Ben Simmons. He's going to find a team, but you play point guard, bro. You don't even play center. Even centers nowadays, they're taking jump shots. Like the game has evolved from back then. Like these players, they're being versatile. You feel me? So you have to shoot the ball, bro. You play point guard for God's sake. Your first option is not to shoot, but come on, bro. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. You just being stubborn with it. That's all. No, I ain't trying to hear that. Yeah, that boy just being stubborn with it. But to move on to our last topic, since Austin already done brought up the man of the topic, the man of the hour, Mr. Devin Booker himself. So the boy was watching First Take, and Stephen A. was there with Magic Johnson and Max, and he basically said that D-Book is the next Kobe Bryant. May God rest his soul, but he called Devin Booker the next Kobe Bryant. So, Dennis, how you feel about that comparison or about that saying that Stephen A. had to say?
When I initially heard it, because I watch Undisputed, I watch First Thing First, I watch all that shit every morning. Excuse my language. I watch all of them sports shows every morning. I didn't take it like he was saying like Devin Booker is capable of like being great as Kobe Bryant or even greater, but I understand why he said it because of Devin Booker's game, like the way his game is. It kind of mirrors what Kobe does, and what Kobe used to do in the NBA. And Devin Booker is like a great 3-level scorer. Like his footwork is amazing. His jumper is smooth. Like this is the same man that like got a top 10 highest scoring game in NBA history. Like man dropped 70 on Boston like 3 years ago. Yeah. Even though he lost, he still dropped 70 points. You can't take that away from him.
That's true.
So, I mean, like we compare a lot of NBA players in the game to like greats. We compare Luka to LeBron. We even compare Zion to LeBron. Like Zion might be the biggest thing since LeBron, to be honest. We compare Trae to Steph Curry. Maybe about 3 years ago, we was like, Giannis could be Kevin Durant 2.0 if he ever developed a jump shot. But clearly that's not going to happen no time soon. So, I don't have a problem with it. Because, Devin Booker, I actually told Austin this the other day because Devin Booker, Austin was like, yo, he's really like a bona fide superstar now. And I'm like, now? No, right? He was a superstar 2 years ago. Like, you just linked to the heart.
You've been that.
So it's like, Devin Booker is here to stay.
Where are you at with this, Austin?
I remember, like I said, me and Dennis was talking about it, especially during game one of this series. And quick point of order, Dennis. I've been knew Devin Booker was a star, but like I said, I'm just now calling him a superstar. So don't get it twisted. Remember that there's levels to this. But like I was saying, like you said, but honestly, like I said, I really try not to pay attention to these sports shows anymore, whether it's like First Take, Undisputed, Speak for Yourself. I don't really try and get into all of those things because I just like to watch the game for what it is now. Like I said, maybe tune back in there, but every once in a while. But in particular with this, I wouldn't. I'm not saying it was disrespectful or it wasn't even blasphemous for Stephen A to say. Actually, honestly, in terms of his play style and his footwork, how he's able to get to his spots on the court, it's a lot of things like I've seen from Kobe, especially like, and it's like watching a lot of Kobe, like you could tell like when Kobe like got to his spots, it's almost like he would glide, especially in his mid-range shots. He would kind of like glide and, just like pull up. And that's kind of like what Devin Booker does. So like I was saying, like a lot of the similarities, mindset, like I said, the mama mentality, a lot of that is what I saw in Kobe is like definitely a lot of what I see in D Book. Only thing I would disagree with is the fact that I don't want to compare these. I don't necessarily want to. I like the sense of yeah, he kind of draws comparisons, or he kind of reminds me of this player so and so in a sort of way. Mm-hmm. But I don't like. I want to see a young player kind of grow into their own legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because like we hear the comparisons of Luka to LeBron, Spider Mitchell to D Wade, like I said, Devin Booker to Kobe, and yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But honestly, I like to see these young players, grow into their own. Like especially like Steph Curry to Trae Young. Like I said, all that's fine and dandy, but I like to see these players grow into their own, and just be their own player. So, like I said, Stephen A didn't necessarily say anything that was out of bounds, but like I said, I kind of just like to see these young players, create their own legacy.
And that's what I mean. For me personally, I would say I disagree with that, because the last point that you just made, that basically takes like my argument, because I want to make these players go into like their own, like you said, take their own lane and make a name for themselves. Because D-Book is only 24, Donovan Mitchell 24, Luka 22. So these guys have a lot of more years of basketball left to play. So at the end of their career, then maybe we could revisit this conversation and be like, okay, maybe it matches up. I'll still give, the edge to Kobe. May God rest his soul. It still doesn't sound right. Or, D-Book got that. But for right now, no, I can't call him the next, Kobe Bryant. There's only one Kobe and there's one Devin. Like that, I mean, me personally, if I was, in the NBA and then I heard a comparison like that, like it's nice and all, but I wouldn't want to have that on my shoulders, because that person, what they did for themselves, like you can't, like I can't immaculate or do what they did. I'm just trying to make my own path for myself, win titles and be like top in the NBA scoring list, doing what I got to do to help my team win. Basically, wherever I'm at, whichever team I'm at, helping my team, in the best situation. So I wouldn't want that type of pressure on me, because we see what happened with Ben Simmons when they called him Braun 2.0, and we see how that worked out. So we won't leave it at that. There's nothing wrong with saying that, his game is similar to his. I got no issues with that, because, there are some players that you watch that, like the way that he plays the game, he kind of reminds me of this player. Like you said, like how D-Book just glides. It reminds you of Kobe. Like even with Donovan, how I see him play, it kind of reminds me of, of Wade. So there's nothing wrong with saying that I see like his game kind of resembles that type of person. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you say like he's literally like that next, that GOAT, that Hall of Famer, that 5-time NBA champion, that's a lot of weight to put on another person's shoulder. That's just me honestly. That's just me honestly. But I mean, other than that, I mean, because we all know what Devin Booker brings to the table. I mean, I still don't like the fact that he never made an All NBA team, which was messed up. He should have definitely made an All NBA team. He only made the NBA All Rookie first team his rookie year. Like I said, he's only 24 years old. He has a lot of basketball left to be played, a lot. And I'm rooting for them boys to win the championship this year too. So, all right, go ahead, Austin.
So again, Vlad, thanks for having me on the podcast, bro. I appreciate it. Like I said, the basketball nerd, man, is coming. Like I said, be sure to follow me on Twitter _Austin Dixon. Be sure to follow me on IG @_It's Austin D. I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep y'all up to date. Basketball news, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. And like I said, thanks again, Vlad, for having me on the podcast. Man, we need to we definitely got to collab more, but I feel something special brewing.
Hey man, I'm good with that, man. You and Dennis are welcome here anytime, man. I'm always down for a collaboration with y'all boys, man. Always, like Dennis said, it's always good vibes, man. Even though we have our disagreements here and there, but that's what makes it fun at the end of the day. So thank both of y'all for taking time out of your day for stopping by, man. You know, thank God for another day, first and foremost. Also want to thank. I want to thank Tallahassee because this is my last week up here, and I ain't got to come back up here no more. So thank you to out of here, bro, out of here. But thank you, man. Thank y'all to FAMU, and yeah, man, just go Suns because I know they're playing right now. What's the update, Austin? What the update is?
Suns are up 38-34 about midway through the second quarter. My bad.
All right, bet. All right, real quick before I end up real quick. Who y'all boys got winning this series? I'll start off with Dennis. Who you got winning this? Who you got coming out the East and who you got coming out the West?
Milwaukee and Phoenix.
All right, and who you got winning the championship?
Milwaukee.
Ooh.
Go Giannis.
Austin, East and West in your championship.
I got Hawks, Suns. Ice trade a game. Do it for the A.
And who you got winning it?
I got Phoenix. Matter of fact, hey, Suns in 4. Suns in 4.
A sweep? You got in it a sweep?
No, I'm playing. I was copying the guy who.
Oh, the fan.
Yeah.
I got Milwaukee and Phoenix, and I got Phoenix taking it off. I got Chris Paul finally finna get his first ring this year, and I'm happy for him.
Disrespect to Giannis.
Bro, Giannis is what, 20, 25, 26? He has time. Chris Paul is almost at the end of his career, bro. He needs at least one.
Oh, we go.
Vlad. Matter of fact, before I leave, I also want to give a quick shout out to my boy Sterling. He turned me into a Hawks fan. So that's why. So if you see me rooting for
Sterling wasn't even a Hawks fan to begin with.
What happened?
I think you said. Did you say Sterling wasn't even a Hawks fan to begin with?
Who said that?
I think you did, or you just say, "Oh no," you said that he was annoying you with it because he is from Atlanta. So
yeah, okay. He was annoying me with it, but you know, he basically he said he's gonna take all the credit for me being a Hawks fan now. So it is what it is.
They need something after that Super Bowl collapse against the Patriots, but we ain't gonna talk about that, bro. I'm happy for the. I'm happy for the city of Atlanta. But like I said, thank y'all boys once again. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gone.